Hello.
Oh my gosh, I'm coming home again.
Well, yeah, because that's where we do this.
I know. Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on Popped. I am Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. I'm Keith.
That's Keith. We are a pop culture podcast that has taken a little bit of a summer break. But, we're back. We're back in the gig, and we love it. You can find us Tuesdays, let's say. Not last week, but the week before we were, the Nintendo Bros were live talking video games. But Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Facebook, facebook.com/popshow. You can download our amazing audio podcast on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Podbean.
Yes.
That is correct. And then also you can follow us on Twitter at PopShow. And don't forget to check out our reviews and rants and all the awesome stuff that we do for the written word on popshow.com. Am I forgetting anything? It's been a long time since I've done that riff.
It really has, but you did it well. It has been, I guess, probably almost a month now.
Yeah, it's like riding a bike. Yeah, we did. We took a little step back.
No, it's been longer than that. It's been a month and a half.
Wow.
I don't think you and I have done a show since end of June.
Wow.
And that was the Drunk History Metal Shark Bro.
That's right. That was a great episode.
That was
Why did we stop?
Because how could you top that?
That's true. How could you top that? Well, check out our archives. Go back on our Facebook page. Give us a like. Give us a share. We talk pop culture all day, every day. Kind of the chagrin of maybe our employers, but we want to hear what you want to say. And we're always sharing the latest in pop culture news on our Facebook page, and that's where we stream live as well. So since we've had 6 weeks off.
Yeah, end of June. And actually, that last episode, when we had Kevin Cuff and Bob France on for Metal Shark Bro, they are, last I checked, like $3,000 away from their goal, and they've got little over 24 hours, 28 hours now, as of right now. So they are close. If you were watching us live, check them out. Metal Shark Bro on Kickstarter, one of Kickstarter's projects they love.
Yeah, that's because it's hilarious.
It is.
And, they're local guys. If you're local, we are in Hampton
Kevin's
Roads,
local.
Virginia.
Bob used to be local.
Right. Well, he's a name
Close
around
enough,
here still.
yeah.
We are in coastal Virginia, in Norfolk, Virginia.
I'm glad you pronounced that correctly.
Not
Norfolk.
Yeah, we're not in Massachusetts. So anyway, yeah, what have we done in our couple months off? Oh, shout out, by the way, to Richmond DJ Fingers, F1NG3RS, for doing our amazing theme song.
Yes. We actually met him at Pixel Fest. Probably a year and a half ago now.
We did, and that's happening, and there's stuff just popping off all over the place.
Yeah, Pixel Fest, they're at the Half Moon Cruise Center in October.
I know, and the Push is always doing great stuff. If you're a local to Hampton Roads, check out the cool stuff that the Push is doing. They're always pushing.
That's what you did there.
They're always pushing out awesome events on Facebook. And then there are, of course, our friends at Narrow Expanded Video and Narrow Cinema, who, they're doing, what is it? Wedding Singer this week?
On Friday, yeah.
I know, and I'm going to miss...
yeah.
Yeah, it is. Wedding Singer this Friday for Flick It Friday, and then the week after is Dirty Dancing, which I have to miss.
You don't have to.
No, I do have to miss it. I have to be a supportive girlfriend.
I appreciate it.
So when it comes to me, baby will sadly be in a corner, but that is not the norm. So, go to Narrow Cinema, our local indie theater, and check it out. Speaking of which, we saw a really interesting documentary on Sunday.
That documentary was not what I was expecting.
Nope.
I posted an article on the Facebook page, facebook.com/popshow, and it was about this documentary getting turned into a feature film. It's called Three Identical Strangers. It's about a pair of triplets who get separated at birth, and it turns out it was on purpose.
Yeah, it was this as documentary,
I guess I kind of jumped the gun. I probably should have explained. One guy went to a community college. They all thought he was one of the triplets, but he was like, no, this is the first time I've been here. And then it started this whole thing.
So it was well done.
Very well done.
And as I mentioned to you after we saw the film, it told the story in a way that good documentaries tell the story, and that it anticipates the thoughts of the viewer.
Yeah.
And answers the questions as they're revealed, just as it occurs to you. And, this might just be my very pedestrian way of thinking. I mean, I don't think
No.
I'm particularly advanced film viewer like a lot of our friends are who watch the show, but it occurred movie. I'll be interested to see what licenses they kind of share, they take from it.
But if you get a chance, if it's playing in your local independent theater, I think it's still playing at the Narrow this week, but it's got like 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock show times, which are kind of difficult. But maybe they'll renew it for next week because it was really good, and it was definitely one of the best documentaries I've seen.
3 Identical Strangers.
Yes.
Yeah. And then what else have we been up to?
I built a Lego Voltron.
You did?
As you might have seen on Instagram.com at Pop Show.
Show on Instagram.
Yeah, there you go, at Pop Show. I may have spent a bunch of money today because Miles, friend of the show, occasional contributor, is a giant pusher.
Yep, he does not support my efforts to pop culture purge. Listen, I like stuff, and I have my favorite things, but I've never been a collector of stuff, and you are a collector of stuff. So that is an interesting...
There's a variety of reasons I'm a collector of stuff.
You are a collector of stuff, and there's, it's not a bad thing. You're not like a hoarder. You're not holding garbage or like...
Oh, God, no. This place is clean.
It's clean, and it's organized, and...
Maybe I'll do a Facebook Live one day and just kind of do a tour of the Popped Cave.
I will say the Pop Cave is the envy of many male friends that we encounter, many men.
Maybe one night when we don't feel like doing a show, and I need to get that 4th shelf up. I need to build that so I can put the rest of my pops up there because it has bled out of the Popped Cave.
Yeah, it's getting a little bit out of control. But what did you buy today?
But we went to Raleigh Comic-Con, so that's why.
We did the Raleigh SuperCon. That was cool. We had a great time there.
But yeah, I bought a bunch of DuckTales toys today. I really... Hold on. It's been so long, I didn't even have it ready. I apologize.
Oh, my gosh.
And nope. See, it's still... Relief
Who
for
are
a few.
you?
I know.
There it goes.
All right.
Nice. Well, I have been, let's see, Trial and Error started up again.
Yes. It's a really good show.
We've been watching that. I finished up Handmaid's Tale.
Nice.
Which I have feelings on. If you also have feelings on Handmaid's Tale, chime in the comments or shoot us a message or tweet at us at Pop Show, and I will be happy to share my thoughts on Handmaid's Tale. It's kind of impossible to do it without spoilers, but my best friend has started the series, and let's see, what else have we been up to?
Raleigh SuperCon was the big thing.
Yeah, Raleigh SuperCon was a lot of fun.
We got to meet Big Bird.
Yeah, oh my gosh. Carol Spinney and Steve Whitmire are 2 of the nicest people on the face of the earth.
And they didn't have any lines at all, which is weird. I guess people don't really put that connection together because you don't see their faces, but I mean, they shaped all of our childhood.
They absolutely did. And so, and they were totally cool. Like, they were, as long as there weren't people waiting, because, that's how they make their money, and these people are paying to meet them, essentially. Mm-hmm. So, as long as they won't meet your heroes, but you met a couple couple weekends ago, and they were awesome.
Yeah. And you and Steve Whitmire actually share the same favorite restaurant in Georgia.
We do. We have the same favorite restaurant in Decatur, Georgia. Canoe. Excellent choice. Excellent choice. I went on a first date with a guy.
Yes, it's a good spot.
Awesome. Well, Greg, welcome, sir. And without further ado, we got to
I mean, we could talk about food if you want to all night. I'm fine with that.
I'm okay with. I love food. We eat food around here all the time.
We do eat food.
Local food around here is top notch. It's all we do. I don't think we
video for the first time in like a month. We've got to do the intro.
Yes, we do, because people need to see Greg's lovely shop, Local Heroes.
Yeah. There it goes.
A little slow on the startup.
Are you gonna do it?
Of course.
Comes with Greg. 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 Yay!
And that's how we do, folks. We peak purely so we can sing lyrics to a song that is made up of stock
music. That doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. 3 words long. Still my favorite song.
Yeah, no, it's a fun song.
I'm going to get Comics with Greg professionally produced by a real musician. And then I'll let you guys play it over their video. It'll be perfect.
I'm okay with this.
Yeah, Christmas gift. Christmas list done.
Yeah, exactly. That's all we need.
Great.
So, Greg, how you been, man? It's been a little while.
I always miss talking to Sarah and Keith and the third person who I really don't care about, let's be honest. So, but it's good to be back with you folks.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you back, sir. Have we got a good week in
Especially
comics
to talk
this week?
about a subject that I know an average amount about, which is comic books.
No, I think you know plenty about comics because you own a shop and you give us these picks weekly. Even when we don't do a show, you still give us your comic picks, and I'll post them up on popshow.com, and occasionally I'll pick up some of them, and they're really good. I have not had a bad Greg's pick ever.
Good. Well, I try not to pick total garbage.
Well, I don't see how you could.
Nothing about your shop is garbage.
Exactly. You know comics.
You're too kind, sir.
Yeah. I mean, the only garbage thing I would say you have in there is Juan, but, he can't help it.
Yes, he really is a trash human. So.
It wouldn't be a show if we didn't give Juan a little bit of shit. So,
yeah.
Awesome, Greg. Well, what's first on the list this week?
A big book tomorrow, a new Sandman. Neil Gaiman has kind of let other people play in his sandbox. He did this before, when Sandman was in its heyday, and shortly after it ended, he would let other people tell Sandman stories. He's curated the list of creators that are telling Sandman stories in this new comic that's out tomorrow. It's a one-shot that leads into, I believe, a miniseries of Sandman stories set outside of the main book. So if you're a Sandman fan, you don't get new Sandman material that often, but tomorrow is your day.
Yeah, because we just had, what was it, Sandman Overture too, right? Not that long ago?
Exactly. Yeah, and that was written by Gaiman and drawn by J.H. Williams. That was a really beautiful book. I think people really enjoyed that, to have him come back and write it again. Obviously, he's kind of a big deal, so we can't write comics all the time.
Right.
But he's letting a curated list of folks have a go, so it should be great.
That's always nice. It's good when creators can. Well, I mean, he probably handpicked and confirmed all these guys, but people. But it's nice when they kind of let other people take a stab at it because it really can expand the universe and expand the character. I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And sometimes you get better stories.
For sure. So what's next?
Speaking of really good writing and art, tomorrow, Catwoman #2. The first issue was really great. It's done by Joelle Jones, who did a ton of stuff. She did a really great series called Lady Killer from Dark Horse. She's drawn some Batman, and they gave her Catwoman to do everything. They're like, here, do all the stuff, and she's killed it on the first issue. And I'm stoked for the second issue tomorrow. And we have the first issue if you missed it.
Perfect. Yeah, and it picks up right after Batman 50 and the wedding and all that stuff, correct? That everyone's up in arms
exactly.
about. All right. Cool.
So it's kind of a new chapter for her, and it's easy to jump into, and it's really pretty to look at. So
awesome. I like it. So what's our last and final comic of the week?
After many, many years of Marvel being whiny babies, they're going to publish a Fantastic Four comic again. I'm sure it has nothing to do with the purchase of Fox, who own the movie rights to Fantastic Four.
None at all.
But coincidentally, here we are with a new Fantastic Four book. It's written by Dan Slott, who wrote Spider-Man Forever and Ever and Ever. And it's going to be a really stellar book. And I actually had a friend who read it earlier today, and he said he got choked up. So,
really?
Maybe it's going to tug at the heartstrings. I haven't had a chance to read it yet, but I'm excited for a new Fantastic Four #1 tomorrow. Awesome.
Well, I'm trying to think. Dan Slott, he did the Superior Spider-Man stuff too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like that. I love that run.
Yeah.
So.
And people, he's a solid writer, and I think to see him on a team book and to see him on something that he's never written or that he's written sparsely in the past should be fun.
Awesome. Well, I might have to pick that one up then tomorrow because I do like Dan Slott's stuff. So, and it's Marvel's first family. How could you not love the fact that they're returning?
Exactly
so
their first family. You're such a comic guy. I love it.
Well, I have a good shop to go to and learn all these things, and an empty head to put all this useless knowledge into. So, that's why I'm here.
It's also full of Sesame Street trivia.
Oh, that's true too. Yeah, I impressed a few people with
that's a worthy cause.
It is. So
he's a well-rounded individual.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Ninja Turtles, Sesame Street.
Ghostbusters.
Yes, Ghostbusters. So, Greg, where can they pick up these fine books tomorrow?
If you're listening outside of Norfolk, comicshoplocator.com will give you a really awesome comic store. And if you happen to live in Hampton Roads, come to Local Heroes, 1905 Colonial in Norfolk, in Ghent. It's lovely. You could also get a cup of coffee and grab a slice of pizza and go to the video game store, all within like walking distance. So come see us.
It's a power block.
It really is. I don't see that block changing anytime soon.
Right there on Colonial.
So awesome, Greg.
I love it.
Well, I will see you tomorrow, sir, and try not to spend as much money as I spent last week. But I will be there, and I will buy plenty of these books from you, sir.
Great.
Have a good night, man.
Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. I like going in there. I like hanging. I like getting to know the people who are in there. You know, Micah, Bill, who's also a fan of the page and comments regularly on Facebook.com/popshow. You know, Juan used to call in before Greg did. So I always got to give Juan some crap. So
yeah, it is. It is nice to have people to talk to about our nerdy little things that we love.
So it's
which is why you should totally go to Pop Show on Facebook and join the conversation.
Yes.
Or the Twitter.
Yes. Like right now, Neil and Scott are watching with us and hanging out.
That's right.
And usually we've got Vanessa and Ezra and a whole handful of people usually.
This is really our fault because we took like a month off.
Well, and that's the thing. It's, you know, with the social media stuff, you got to be consistent or else you're not ever going to get following. But
Bad llama. We'll get better.
Yeah. I don't think I have that drop actually.
Yeah, well, now we do. I've used like Bad Llama like.
Bring it on.
No, that's not. It has a face of Cusco. That's all I know.
Anyway, so what else is new?
Sorry. I'm trying to think. We've been busy, but
We're anxiously awaiting for the release of a Switch bundle that includes Smash.
Yep.
So that we can really dive into this dual income no kids life and have 2 Switches for the inevitable Mario Party 2-screen arrangement situation, which we are anxiously looking forward to based on like 3 seconds of a video game trailer that we saw one time months ago.
You know, Nintendo's doing really well, and I'm just trying to support them.
That's true. Nintendo is doing really well, and you know, that's exciting because it's it had a slump there with Wii U. Although I maintain that Wii U is a solid system, and we still play it and have it active and connected. And when people come over, we use it.
Nintendo Land is the group game we play.
Nintendo Land is definitely the default, even above the Switch at this stage.
Yeah, because a lot of people actually, it's weird because the Switch, while it's great and gamers are used to it, a lot of people we have over aren't gamers.
Right.
You know, like my sisters, and some of our coworkers.
Yeah, friends.
They don't game like we do, and some of the last stuff they played was, you know, Super Nintendo, maybe PlayStation.
They're used to that button configuration.
Right. They're used to having a controller that takes 2 hands and still you have space in between those 2 hands. They're not used to their hands touching as you try to hold a little.
Although I will say we dropped some noobs into Overcooked and have a blast.
Oh yeah, Overcooked is a really fun Switch game.
Overcooked we can start from the beginning with a different crowd every time, and like just Overcooked is a crowd pleaser. Neil is reminding us on the Facebook in the comments to watch Direct tomorrow morning.
Yes.
And he said Crunchyroll retweeted the Smash Direct today. So
I really hope we get some sort of bundle announcement tomorrow.
That's right. We need to spend more of our money.
Yes, that's exactly what we need to do. Jeez. Yeah, because I'm trying to think. I got the Luke Cage Vine. I'm still trying to think. I mean, we've been off for a month and a half. We have done plenty of pop culture stuff. I pulled out the SNES Classic the other night. Was playing some Star Fox.
Orange is the New Black, latest season.
Oh yeah, we powered through that.
Yeah, we sure did. You know,
what did you think of it?
I'm going to warn you right now. There might be spoilers. So you know, spoiler alert or whatever. Do we have like a warning?
No, because the one I want to get, I wanted to do like a supercut of all like the Doctor Who characters saying spoilers over and over again. But yeah, here, let's do this one.
Danger, Will Robinson. Danger.
Okay. So
all right.
Danger. There's spoilers coming up.
Yes, danger. Spoilers. So the season started out like torture porn. You know what I mean?
How so?
Like it just felt like they were showing violence for the sake of violence, and I know that is part of the experience here, but it reminded me of the first season where they were showing like sexuality for the sake of sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of it is pertinent to the story, but it just felt like kind of overkill. And it wasn't because it was offensive or anything or shocking. It just felt like it was just a lot.
See, I saw that more as them trying to get back to the season 1, season 2 ways of things.
Well, season 5 with the prison riot was so out there that it didn't feel relatable.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I can really relate to a life in prison, but I can
Right.
relate to the entitled, white girl situation. And it felt like it just got further and further away from what prison probably is.
Yeah.
And
it got a little more fantastical instead of a little more grounded.
And it was, in this season, it seems like they kind of overcorrected that a little bit. Not that, like just the first few episodes were just felt really heavy-handed with the whole guard inmate situation and the abuse and the violence. Not that it wasn't justified in the storyline, it just felt like a lot. And then as the season ended, you got really kind of wrapped up with Mackenzie Phillips and what's her name playing the two like feuding
sisters.
biddies. Yeah.
Yeah. Which I'm not going to spoil it. That story arc, they kind of touched on it throughout the season here and there. But when they kind of wrapped it all up, I thought I was happy with that ending.
I wasn't invested in them because I knew it was all temporary.
Well, yeah.
They were obviously not, sustained characters.
Oh yeah, they weren't going to be recurring.
And and I don't know if I really loved what they did with the sustained characters. I will say I think the strongest arc was Tasty.
Yes.
And what was the
Cindy?
No, the girl who at the
Blanca.
beginning everyone thought she was crazy.
Oh, not Crazy Eyes, but
No, the
blonde one with the glasses. She was in there for like a few episodes and then she was gone.
No, I'm talking about the one who was like Diablo Blanca.
Oh, Blanca, yeah.
Yeah, the way that her character
I thought you
progressed.
were saying they thought she was crazy at the beginning of this season.
No, at the beginning of the series.
Series,
There's the one who's always in the
Yes.
bathroom yelling at Diablo, who turned out to be a person named Diablo.
Yes.
She had a good, I think, character development, and Tasty, I think, was really good. But the rest of them I kind of lost a little bit.
I still liked Nikki, just because I liked that character. Her arc was good. I thought it was, well, I don't know if it was good, but I liked her character. I liked kind of what they did with it.
Right.
I kind of wish we had seen a little more of the other girls.
Yeah, I always want more Laverne Cox.
Yeah.
She
was there a little bit.
She was there,
but I'm talking like crap. It's Kimiko Glenn's character, Suso. No.
So.
There we go.
She wasn't in the season at all.
No, and nor was Flocka's partner in crime either.
So they kind of brushed that off by saying, "Oh, some people went to Indiana or whatever it was."
Right.
So I don't know. Yeah, there were some glaring omissions, and yeah, there were some favorites who were gone.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, maybe in my opinion, my favorite was killed off 2 seasons ago. But what are you gonna do?
Which one?
Pusey.
So,
I'm still not over that. Spoilers. Sorry. So yeah, Orange is the New Black. I'm gonna keep watching. There's not really a question to that. It's just how long am I gonna keep watching?
Yeah.
I mean, I started, so I thought for sure Big Little Lies was gonna be such a thing in my life because I read the book and I love the book and I was totally gripped by it. And then the series came out on HBO with this fabulous cast. And I just didn't keep watching it. And I don't really have a lot of explanation why. I just didn't hold it up.
Yeah.
And then I thought for sure the same thing was going to happen with Sharp Objects. Because, again, totally obsessed with the Gillian Flynn book. I had to read it. It's a great cast. I love Amy Adams. Watched the first episode and just was like, eh. And it's not that I didn't love it. It's that I don't know. I guess I just didn't feel the same connection to the series as I did the book.
No, that makes sense. We did the same thing with Cloak and Dagger. We've got a few episodes in, but we haven't really gone back to it.
You know what I haven't started that I have been looking forward to for months? Time and Attention.
Yeah, there's a lot. Like, that's the reason I haven't. We've watched that one episode of Black Mirror, and we haven't really gotten into it because we want to have that time to give it the thought and the attention it deserves.
Unfortunately, so much of my media consumption happens while in the middle of other things.
Right.
On in the background while I'm folding laundry or on the treadmill or meal prepping or something like that.
Right.
And TV is so good these days that there's if freaking Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon are on the screen, I want to watch them because they're great actors.
Well, and play Stardew Valley at the same time.
Well, yeah. Well, that's what I did with Orange is the New Black because I wasn't as invested.
Right.
But see, if we were watching something that I was invested in, I would be, tuned into it. So I don't know. Yeah. It's a tough call. I mean, I watched the Lizzie Borden Chronicles on Netflix. Mm-hmm. I don't know if it was started on Netflix or if that's where it is now, but I mean, that's where it is. But I don't know if it was a Netflix original show. I don't know off the top of my head. But that was totally up my alley. Yeah, there you go. Because I love Christina Ricci and hey, murdering female at the turn of the century. This is awesome. And it was fine. I watched it all, but it was in a binge situation of like things going on in the background. So
yeah, I've been watching Vice's Explained series on Netflix. And then there's also, I was trying to think what else. Voltron, also on Netflix. I'm not going to do it again. Ba-bong. And I think the new season of that comes out this Friday. Mm-hmm. And they're doing like a full. That show's gotten really good.
Voltron.
Yeah, it's a cartoon, and at its core, it's still a cartoon, but it's been really good. Oh, I watched the first episode of Turtles. Speaking of ridiculous cartoons.
Oh, the new Turtles.
Yeah, but Voltron, it's actually gotten pretty good, and I've gotten really invested in the characters. So if you guys haven't been watching Voltron, you should check it out.
Nice.
But yeah, the new Turtles came out. It is very much. Teen Titans Go is in the theater right now, and it's a widely popular kids TV show. It is very much the Teen Titans Go of the Ninja Turtles franchise.
Well, that's kind of the way it is nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's the new animation style. It's where things are going. It's that zany Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Rick and Morty kind of over-the-top style. But there's only been one episode. They're definitely focusing more on the mystic stuff than the Turtles is used to, so I'll be curious to see how they handle it.
Do you have any early impressions? Neil wants to know on the Facebook.
No, unfortunately, I don't. Because I don't want to watch an episode and judge it completely off of that. Because if I did that, I would never have watched the second season of Parks and Rec. The first season's crap.
That's fair.
I want to try to give shows a full season before I really say, okay, I'll continue watching it or not. It's not what I'm used to for Turtles. It's kind of like Last Jedi. It's not what I'm used to. It's something different. I will give them the opportunity to develop it into something bigger. It's weird having Raph as the leader and Leo in the background, but I feel like that gives them the opportunity for Leo to eventually become the leader. Mike and Donnie are very much in their same roles. Donnie's even more so kind of a inventor and a little bit colder. As I said, I really don't like the Splinter. I will say that much. It's like this weird Danny DeVito, Beekman's World combo rat that they put together. And I don't know. Like, I would like for him to at least feel like somewhat of a ninja master. But he's in the first episode, he didn't get much screen time. He was on the screen for maybe 10, 15 seconds. And he was very much over the top, eating popcorn, watching soap operas, which isn't the first time Splinter's watched soap operas. But he was just very much, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you kids, screw off kind of thing. So that's the only criticism I have of it. But I will give the show a season. I will keep checking in on it. But it has not grabbed me like DuckTales has, because that show is fantastic.
Yeah, DuckTales kind of hooked you.
Yeah,
it hooked me too. It's a great show.
Yeah, and you've only seen a few episodes, but every episode you've seen, you've really enjoyed.
Yeah, absolutely.
They have started their... Miles was asking me the other day, because him and I were talking about it. He is stocked up on it because he's been out of the country for a little bit. And he was asking me if it... Because remember, I think Matt and I talked about it, that it was a little disjointed the first half of the first season. And I think they've cleaned it up a little bit, but I think things are still out of order possibly by a little bit, but not enough to make it glaringly obvious, because they are really starting to develop the characters and the story. We've had a few episodes about the triplets' parents. We've had a few episodes with Webby's friend and some of the connections that girl has. We've had some Gizmo Duck episodes, which have been fun. Even a few Flint Hard Glomgold episodes. What?
Gizmo Duck makes me happy.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed Gizmo Duck, and I feel like we'd be seeing more of Gizmo Duck if he wasn't voiced by Lin-Manuel Miranda, but he does such a good job with it. I just,
Yeah, when you get a busy guy to be your actor,
yeah.
you got to kind of do what
Well,
you
he's
can
probably
do.
expensive too, to be fair. But I mean,
I'm sure he
they've got a
is.
lot of good actors on there, so maybe they can afford it. Who knows? Maybe they're just throwing money at this show. So I don't know. Let's see. What have we got, Neil?
Well, it's a winner.
Well, Neil talking about the arcade game. I wonder if he means. I'm trying to think.
Turtles, Nintendo,
Well, you're right.
or arcade game.
Yeah, but I'm trying to figure out which one it would be. I wonder if it's the original arcade game because we haven't really had a lot of arcade games. The two biggest ones were the original arcade game and Turtles in Time.
So for our podcast listeners who cannot see the screen right now, Neil asks, or Neil says he forgets which specific arcade game it is, but he saw a screenshot of Master Splinter's age at 30, and he died inside a little bit, which we're older than Master Splinter. That's kind of a hard pill to swallow.
To be fair, though, I mean that's like saying we're older than Bart Simpson. I mean these guys have been. I mean Turtles have been around since '84.
Bart Simpson's 10 years old.
I know, but that's what I'm saying.
I mean, he's been 10 years old for 30 years. But
exactly. So Splinter's been 30 years old for 30 years because the arcade games they went with more of the original tune version of Splinter. See, this is what happens, Neil. This is what happens when you get me into turtle mode.
You do have a wealth of knowledge.
They went with Splinter was human and then transformed into a rat, but the original comic was rat transformed into humanoid form. But and the original Hamato Yoshi was, I'd say, somewhere in his 30s. I mean, he was married, living in New York when Shredder came to get him.
How old do rats live? They can't live longer than 10 years.
Maybe that's, well, I mean, yeah, but then when you've come across alien ooze, I mean, it's just all downhill from there.
Hashtag Turtle Talk.
Yes, that I would say that would be the spin-off podcast, but there are plenty of good turtle podcasts out there, I'm sure, and we just don't need to saturate the market.
Yeah, like the pop culture market needs us. Not saturated at all.
Okay, name other Hampton Roads based pop culture podcasts. We try to do local stuff.
We do, and we love our local area, and we try to share the love as much as we can.
But we want to be inclusive. Neil's not from this area, so we talk big picture stuff, so we can get outside people in.
So to branch out,
yes.
And being as it is August and we are nearing the end of travel season,
yes,
you go.
I'd say Duckburg just because it's fresh in my mind, but
but life is like a hurricane there. Do you really want to go there?
I mean, if it's not that far from Cape Suzette, I could just hop in a seaplane and fly over. I'd be fine.
Do you know a pilot?
I know plenty of pilots. There's Baloo, there's Launchpad, there's a whole handful of them.
All right, well then maybe you'd have a good time in Duckburg.
No, I know where I want to go, and I just saw it up here, Toontown.
Yeah, we had one of our friends of the show, John, commented, Toontown, that's where he would go. The whole Who Framed Roger Rabbit world, that would be pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Is it just because of Jessica Rabbit? You can tell me it's cool.
No, it's because I can smash things, and they're fine. They're cartoons. They can take it.
You want to beat up cartoons? That's the whole purpose of going to Toontown?
You know what? You know how long I've wanted to drop an anvil on somebody's head? At least since the 90s, thanks to Animaniacs.
We might have to talk about that later. Do some premarital counseling.
Actually, you know what? I just realized something. I think the Animaniacs were Time Lords. That water tower was much bigger on the inside.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Gallifrey.
Yeah.
Well, no, okay. So when I initially posed this question, you wouldn't let me choose any place that's been blown up. So not Gallifrey.
Gallifrey exists in a weird universe thing.
Yeah, let's
whatever.
just say it's blown up. So no Asgard.
Well, you haven't gotten to the end of Series 9 yet, so.
Okay. No Asgard, no Krypton. Other places that have been destroyed.
Alderaan.
No Alderaan. I know. But okay, there are plenty of great fictional places to visit. That would be awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Florin, definitely up there.
Okay.
I would say the Mushroom Kingdom, but there's so many bad guys walking around. They just bite you and then you die. Do you really want to walk around the Mushroom Kingdom?
Well, it depends on what part of I feel like the Mushroom Kingdom is more so World 1 in Super Mario Brothers 3, where things are, simple. They've got a few things here. We've got things around here. You've been pooped on by a bird around here.
I have been pooped on by a bird.
We could get attacked by raccoons
Keith,
if they were rabid enough.
If they were the size of flying turtles, I'm just saying, Or if you're just walking down the street and a plant spit fireballs at you, I mean, I still maintain that I like visiting Mushroom Kingdom in a console, but I cannot do Mushroom Kingdom IRL. That would be horrifying. That would be horrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine how Mario felt when he went down that sewer and there were, I read somewhere, and it was probably on Tumblr because that's where the origin of all these things.
Right.
The most lethal weapon in Mario, like in
I was gonna say Mel Gibson.
no, in Mushroom Kingdom, is that first Goomba has killed more people than anything else, because people
I've heard that too.
Yeah, just start out playing and they don't know that this cute little, blob is
gonna
kill
figure out
you.
the game, but now we know those Goombas are not to be trusted at all.
They're vicious. Florin from Princess Bride. I thought instantly. Prince Edward Island is a real place. If Miles were here, he would emphatically remind me that Canada is real.
Is it though?
But the Cuthbert Farm is not. That would be nice because Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorite books.
Okay.
Pemberley. I'm getting all literary, but Pemberley from Pride and Prejudice is the esteemed Mr. Darcy's estate.
Okay.
And actually, I really love the way they portrayed it in the Keira Knightley version. It was probably the best.
I have not seen that version.
Well, the A&E version is better. I mean, it's like 4 times as long, but I
That was like a TV miniseries. Wasn't
Yeah,
it?
it was. It was really good. I don't even think I have it on DVD. I didn't care about collecting DVDs until you and I got together.
You're welcome.
That would be good. Neil says Beta Z from Star Trek, where they have nude weddings. Thanks, Neil.
I mean, I feel like you could still have a nude wedding on Earth, but whatever. You do you.
Or the alien planet that Jodie Foster visits in Contact, which I remember thinking that at the time of watching Contact. I feel like I should have read it. It's one of those ones that I didn't read first, and I kind of kicked myself for.
I want to go to Pawnee to have JJ's waffles.
Pawnee would be great. I was just thinking today about how Leslie Knope was my spirit animal.
Yeah.
Cloud Cuckoo Land would be fun. Speaking of spirit animals.
Yes.
Go to the Lego Movie Worlds.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I mean, there's so many movies that I like that are just. I mean, there's Star Wars. You could pick any of the planets from that, except Alderaan. But like a lot of the stuff I like is actually no. I just thought of another one.
Mm-hmm.
All I have to do is just like look around my room, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to go there. But I mean, a lot of the movies and stuff I like are based in like real towns: Ghostbusters, New York, Blues Brothers, Chicago. So it's like I'm trying to think of fictional places that aren't like Hogwarts or Coruscant, or the well-known pop culture stuff. But again, all I had to do is look around my room, and there it was, the Muppet Theater.
Muppet Theater. Yeah, we had someone suggest Sesame Street earlier on Facebook.
Yeah, that'd be another good one.
Sesame Street would be a cool one to visit. And then, there's just some. I know now. I'm looking around your room too.
Neil saying Endor, hanging with the Ewoks.
Really?
I mean, if you're into forestry and
battle teddy bears,
tree houses and stuff, I could see that. They build a good tree house.
Okay.
Everyone's got their thing.
All right, fair enough. I mean, it's such a like. I don't know. I'm thinking about our favorite things. I don't know. I'm still stuck on the Who Framed Roger Rabbit world, which is just L.A. But
L.A. is, but Toontown isn't.
No, Toontown. Well, but like you have to have those rules, right?
How so?
Like you have to have the rule of there's cartoons are living.
Okay. So cartoons are living, but I mean that they still. I mean Toontown would still be a location. It's a two.
Yeah, but I didn't really love Toontown initially with all those like.
But we can't go to Toontown. It doesn't exist that we know of. If we haven't found the portal, But we do have someone who could tell us where to, some other places to go that do exist. We've got Elizabeth from Nerd Travel Pro on the line. Elizabeth, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Hello.
Awesome. How's it going? Welcome to the show.
Oh, it's going great.
Good.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, I'm
So
happy to have you.
I hear that I can't get to Toontown.
Well, I don't know down area in the theme park that also has a Roger Rabbit attraction.
In California?
So that would probably be as close as you can get.
Oh, well, I mean, rules of time and space as they are, I guess I'll have to settle for that.
Yes. It's a cool place though. It would be as close as you can get, and the Roger Rabbit attraction there is super fun.
Well, we do love Roger Rabbit, but before we dive into my fantasy dreams of leaving the dimension as we know it, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a travel consultant for about 4 years now, and I specialize in what I call nerd travel, which is travel that takes you into the worlds of your favorite stories in real places where you can be able to meet your favorite characters and go into some of the places that you've read about or seen in movies. So I specialize in a number of destinations that allow you to do that.
That's awesome. So, I mean, the most requested one is probably Hogwarts, right?
Very much so, yes. That is an extremely popular one. I work with a lot of people who their goal is to go to the Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando, and it's a pretty awesome place. How
long has it been open now?
The first section opened in 2011, and then they opened up the Diagon Alley expansion in 2014.
Diagon Alley is, I mean, yeah, that's probably my favorite. But, of course, I want the wizarding experience of a wand choosing me and, getting into the ethos. And I want a butterbeer, which I was never really clear was if it was alcoholic or not, because these are all children drinking butterbeer. But as an adult...
I just kind of figured it was like cream soda, root beer-ish.
Yeah. Do you have the insight on whether butterbeer is alcoholic, Elizabeth?
The butterbeer that they serve at the Wizarding World of Harry Potter is non-alcoholic. It does have a cream soda flavor to it, but it's not quite that. And there's some kind of magical foam that they put on top of it that is just one of the best things I've ever tasted. It's so good.
Nice. Well, it's definitely on our list to go down there. It's just a matter of getting down there.
Does a wand choose you in Diagon Alley?
It can. There is an opportunity to do that. The wand shop that they have there is not just a shop. They actually do have an experience where you go in with a small group and they have a wand maker, and the wand maker chooses someone out of the audience to go through the process of being chosen by their wand. So it's not guaranteed, but I've had some friends that have done it, and it's a cool experience.
I'm so excited.
So I have a question. I have gone through the whole Pottermore.com, that whole realm of things. I've been sorted in my Ravenclaw house, and I've gotten my wand picked out.
That's true. We should let her know that you're...
fellow Ravenclaw, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're talking to a couple of Ravenclaws here.
Yes.
But I'm they say you're a combo of two houses. You're a Raven Puff, right?
No, Ravenclaw Ravenclaw. No, Ravenclaw and Slytherin. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm Ravenclaw and Gryffindor.
Yeah.
So the same but kind of enemies,
right?
Like any healthy marriage.
But yeah, so I've gone through that whole Pottermore thing, and they've picked out my little wand and stuff. Can I get that wand at the Harry Potter world? Have they managed to cross?
They do have the Ollivander shop at the Wizarding World has a couple of different options for wands. If you want a wand from a specific character, you can do that, and they get pretty specific as well. It's not just the three and Dumbledore. They have a lot of the characters available. But if you don't want a specific character wand, you can actually go and get what they call an unclaimed wand. Which is a set of different wands that are related to they're categorized by the type of wood that they're made out of.
Okay.
And they have a little chart that has, you can choose the one that corresponds to your birthday and things like that. So you can find one that's yours.
Okay. I like that.
That's pretty awesome. We did get Luna Lovegood's wand for our engagement photos because you do nerdy travel, we do nerdy everything else. And I picked Luna's wand because, it wasn't matched with her the same way. it was made afterwards. And so the theory is, if you're a big giant Harry Potter nerd, that it was more powerful because they were it was made for her, in other words. So
I can see that.
Yeah.
That would be cool. Her wand is a very beautiful design too.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It was awesome. It went up against a sonic screwdriver.
We mix and match pop culture, so
That would be a battle to see.
it would be.
I know. I tweeted at J.K. Rowling which one would win, and she didn't write me back, but she's really super busy, so I still love her.
Busy making a bunch
know.
of money. All right, so besides Hogwarts, what are some other popular travel places?
Well, for the fall, one of my favorite places that I mentioned earlier to go is actually Disneyland Resort. And they have a lot of cool extra stuff that goes on during Halloween time. It's the only time of year that they have basically a Nightmare Before Christmas attraction. They do a full overlay of the Haunted Mansion that's there and basically turn it into Nightmare Before Christmas the ride. And I love Nightmare Before Christmas, so that's one of my favorite things. And there's no Nightmare Before Christmas ride anywhere else. So it's the only time you can get to have that experience is during Halloween for that.
That's awesome. I always feel like Nightmare Before Christmas never gets the love it deserves. It's such a unique and amazing Disney film that just sort of doesn't lump in with the princesses quite the same way.
No, but the people that do love that movie, I mean, they love that movie.
Oh, our friend, our viewer right now, Vanessa, I know that she is a huge fan of Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. So that's at Walt Disney World, Elizabeth?
That one is only at Disneyland in California. They haven't done that at Walt Disney World in Florida.
Dang it.
But it's only Disneyland a lot of times tends to have more seasonal things, overlays where they redo stuff in attractions for a few months for the season.
Okay.
Like they also have an overlay on Space Mountain. It becomes Space Mountain Ghost Galaxy, and it's all cool and spooky. And they also have a cool one that they do for their relatively new attraction, actually, Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout, where they have the story of the ride changes after dark and becomes scarier.
Oh.
So that's a cool addition as well.
Cool. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So how is the so I am a runner, and I have done a couple run Disney races, and they've been awesome and highly programmed and kind of expensive, but it's Disney. What do you I mean, it can be affordable, but as far as races go, it's not the most affordable one.
Mm-hmm.
How is the Marvel situation sort of gotten into the Disney world, which, for so long was Mickey and Minnie and princesses and stuff like that?
Well, they've definitely been incorporating a lot more of Marvel into their destinations. They have actually had some superhero-themed, Marvel-themed Run Disney events in Disneyland. Some of those are on hiatus right now because of the construction on the new Star Wars land. So they're not hosting as many Run Disney events at Disneyland. My assumption is they will come back once that's completed, but we don't know yet.
Right. They still do a couple.
Yes. They still do some, and they still do quite a few at Walt Disney World as well, because those they can move to one of the other parks or something, whereas Disneyland is all in the same place. So they may just not have the space for it right now.
Right.
But as far as Marvel goes, they've really moved into it with Disneyland, which is the only park right now. They can't move into Marvel stuff at Walt Disney World. They can only move into it in Disneyland. So they have a whole Marvel-themed land expansion that's planned. It's in the very early stages right now. But they do have the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and they also have several Marvel superheroes that you can meet.
Awesome.
That's cool. And actually, while we've been talking, I've been throwing up some of the pictures you sent with you and Spidey and Cap and the Guardians, and I think I've got one with you and Groot here, too.
Yeah.
So for those of us...
The ones with Cap and Spidey are at Disney California Adventure, which is Disneyland's second theme park, and the one The one with Star-Lord and Gamora was from Marvel Day at Sea on Disney Cruise Line, which is a special event that they do where the whole day is all Marvel everything.
Oh wow!
And it's a lot of fun.
Okay, so what kind of stuff do they do on the cruises? For, in case people can't get to California or Walt Disney World, and maybe a cruise is a little bit easier for them.
Yeah, the cruises, they have a couple of special ones that they do. They're only on select sail dates, but they have ones where they do a Marvel Day at Sea, and then they have other ones where they do a Star Wars Day at Sea. And they have more characters. For the Marvel Day at Sea, they had more characters to meet Marvel-wise than I've ever been able to meet in a Disney theme park. And because there's a limited number of people on the ship, it was some of the easiest character meets that I've ever done. They had some awesome nighttime shows, and we also got to hang out and watch a current, oh goodness, I can't remember his name, but he works on Spider-Man comics, and so he drew a little Spider-Man sketch for us while he did a little Q&A, and that was a lot of fun.
Oh, that's awesome. So it's not just about, you're looking at Star-Lord and you're not looking at Chris Pratt's. They went that extra step to add that, like, the authenticity to it of, like, hey, we know you're probably really embedded in this world. So, meet someone pretending. The artist. Yeah.
So what kind of shows do they have on the cruise? I mean, because you don't have the big, I'm assuming, I've actually never been on a cruise, but, I can't imagine you had the big production availability that you would at one of the theme parks. So what kind of stuff did they do on the cruise as far as shows go?
For the cruise, our favorite of the shows was they had one that they did up on the top deck after dark, and there were a few things that they did in that I remember thinking afterwards, I didn't know they could do that on a cruise ship. But they had basically every major Marvel character there. They had Spidey climbing up and down the funnels of the ship. They had people flying in, and there was fireworks at the end. I was very impressed with that show. It was very cool.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Wow, that's awesome.
Definitely.
Okay. So we've kind of hit some of the bigger franchises. Any of the smaller, or I guess.
Oh no! What she touched on but didn't get into that I'm curious about is Star Wars Land.
Oh yeah, that is another big franchise we should probably touch on.
That's going to be a big one. The new Star Wars Land, whose official name is Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, is going to be opening at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Next year, it'll be summer for Disneyland and late fall for Walt Disney World. So they're under construction at the moment. We know they're going to have two major attractions. One is going to be an indoor dark ride that will take you through a battle inside of one of the giant hangars on one of the Star Destroyers, and the other one will be an attraction that will allow you to pilot the Millennium Falcon.
Will that be at both Walt Disneyland and World? Will they have the same ones, or?
Yes, they're pretty much going to have. My understanding that some of the details may be different, but overall they will each have the same attractions.
Okay, that sounds like fun.
And the same theming.
Nice. Well, to make a late 2019 trip plans then for sure. Because that sounds like, because they also have they're going to have like Star Wars hotels and stuff too, right? I mean, the hotels are even going to be an experience from what I've been hearing.
There is something that's planned for Walt Disney World. They are planning a immersive Star Wars themed hotel. That one is going to be a little further off. I would be surprised if we see anything before 2021 for that one, because they've literally just broken ground on it. But the way that they've talked about it, it sounds like it's going to be a destination unto itself where there's a story happening in the hotel. When I first saw the details about it, I thought, man, this sounds like basically a multi-day LARP that they're going to be doing in this Walt Disney World hotel. So it sounds very exciting.
Yeah,
I'm excited to hear more about it.
Yeah, definitely have to keep an ear out for the details on that one, because I'm curious how they're going to pull something that immersive and that large off on that scale, you know?
I am too. As far as I know, they haven't tried anything quite like that before, so I'll be interested to see how it develops.
Well, if anybody could do it, it's Disney. You know, they play that experience. I mean, even if you're staying in one of the budget hotels and you are just wandering around the park, they make it a immersive experience. I mean, I was 30 and went down to the Disney Princess half marathon in Florida, and they were calling me Princess Sarah, and I was like 10 years old again. You know, I geeked out when I saw Belle. I mean, I could be 50 and geek out when I saw Belle, but yeah, absolutely. So what is a little bit off?
That's what makes it special.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So what is a little bit off the beaten path that maybe you recommend for us geeky travelers?
Well, something that I find that doesn't get talked about nearly as often as Disney, but that I've gone to every year for the past 4 or 5 years and have really, really enjoyed is Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando. It's a special ticketed Halloween event that they do, and they often create amazing immersive mazes based around popular horror franchises. And it's been for something that's just up temporarily, the theming and the immersion in those is pretty incredible. And for fans of Stranger Things, they're doing a Stranger Things maze this year that I am incredibly excited about.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, the Upside Down, I went through the first season like half with my hands over my eyes, and we used to fight about that. And I had to Google what the Demogorgon looked like before it came on the screen because I'm kind of a wimp.
Yeah, and but now you can be chased by a Demogorgon.
Maybe
absolutely.
Maybe I'll be in Diagon Alley, not that far away. I'll be doing the Harry Potter thing. You get chased by a Demogorgon.
All right, that's fine. You're lost.
There's something there for everyone.
Mm-hmm. So what else? I mean, what else are they going to have at Halloween Horror Nights this year besides Stranger Things?
Well, they haven't released all of them yet. They like to tease with their announcements. We do know that they're going to also be featuring Trick or Treat, which is kind of a smaller cult film that I actually hadn't heard of until they did it for the first time last year, but really enjoyed it. They may have accidentally, I don't think that they meant to do this, they may have accidentally announced that they're also doing Poltergeist. They haven't officially announced it yet, so that is my personal guess, but they've given some hints that that might be something that's involved as well. The overall theme for this year's event is 80s horror, so that kind of narrows down the guesses.
Oh, it's going to be so good.
Oh, this is a major conflict in our house right now because I can't think. There's so many other things I'd rather do, and Keith is like, "Let's go, let's go, let's go."
Well, we've got other things planned for the end of this year, so our money on you're lucky. Our money's kind of tied up right now. So
I know
because this would totally be a thing I want to do. 80s and horror. I mean,
yeah, 80s horror. You have fun. I'll have a butterbeer.
I mean, I can do that too.
Yeah. Diagon Alley is usually open during the event, so you can just go hang out there at night as well.
Yeah.
In between houses.
And even Hogwarts is open late at night, I believe. Correct? Because
say that again.
Isn't Hogwarts the castle and stuff? Isn't that open late at night as well? Because I know they try to do some events there too, don't they?
They do. The Halloween Horror Nights event only takes place at Universal Studios, which is the park that Diagon Alley is in.
Oh, okay.
So Islands of Adventure, where Hogwarts is, doesn't participate, but Hogwarts did start a new little nighttime projection show recently, so they've been open later to accommodate that, since that has to happen after dark.
Okay, gotcha.
So I have a really important question about Hogwarts. Is it movie Hogwarts or book Hogwarts? In other words, am I going to see Peeves?
Movie Hogwarts.
Oh, no Peeves.
I
still magical.
Let's think. I can't recall any reference to Peeves in the attraction.
Okay.
I can't think of any. Occasionally, they will put in small references in places that reference things that are more specific to the books, but the aesthetic in the story primarily comes from the films.
Okay. Well, the films are still, I mean, we're like at Magic 11 versus Magic, 11 and a half. The movies are amazing, but I did miss Peeves.
Mm-hmm.
I read the books first, like 10 years after they came out. And then I hadn't seen the movies because I needed to read the books first and I wasn't willing to invest in that time. And then once I did, I was totally hooked. So Peeves was one thing that I missed, but I understand why he had to be cut.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I read the books first, so I was always looking for that stuff that the films weren't able to include.
Yes. Well, so we've got Halloween covered. What about Christmas?
Well, since we're on the topic of Harry Potter, for the first time last year, the Wizarding World started doing a Christmas time celebration, and they put up special decorations all over with a bunch of lights. They have a Christmas-themed evening projection show on Hogwarts. All of the shows, most of the shows that they have during the day, they do a Christmas-themed show. And they also serve hot butterbeer in addition to the regular version of butterbeer.
Awesome.
Interesting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. We got to enjoy it last year, and it was a lot of fun. Christmas is so featured in the books and the films that I was amazed that they hadn't done it earlier. Because it works very well.
Well, they're not going to do anything half measure. I mean, they're going to wait until they have all of the decorations and they can make it this totally magical thing because of course they did.
Yeah.
That's true.
So are we missing anything huge that we haven't touched on? Because now I need to blow all my money on vacations.
That's the major, most of the major seasonal ones. For people who are going to Disney World for Halloween time, they do have a special Halloween party that they do as well. Unlike Disneyland stuff, the Halloween party at Disney World is an additional cost. So if you want to do Halloween at Disney World, it's a separate ticketed event. But it is a lot of fun. And they have one of my favorite things that they've done recently, which is a stage show with the Sanderson sisters from Hocus Pocus, and it's one of my favorite things.
Oh, that's...
Yeah,
I
so
haven't
you want to
even
go now,
seen
don't
it,
you?
and I know it's my... Yes, but Hocus Pocus, there's like an age range of women where Hocus Pocus is like a formative thing.
I remember Hocus Pocus. It
Yeah,
was
but it's...
part of my childhood upbringing as well.
But like, is it a deeply emotional experience for you? Because
No, it was just the first time I saw Sarah Jessica Parker.
So kinda.
Yeah.
but not quite the same.
No.
Well, Elizabeth, this has been awesome. And now we have so many vacations to plan. Tell us where we can find you and get in touch and where you live online and where we can find you on Twitter and all that stuff.
Sure. Well, you can find a lot more information at nerdtravelpro.com on my website, and I'm also at Nerd Travel Pro on Facebook and Instagram, and I post a lot of updates and stuff from my own travels there as well.
We're so jealous of you right now.
Seriously. Got all the connections.
Well, awesome, Elizabeth.
Well, you'll have to when you're ready to travel again. You'll have to hit me up.
Yes,
Oh,
we
definitely will.
We sure will. We'll give you a call. Well, awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks.
This was a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for having me on.
Yes,
Not a problem.
absolutely.
Thanks for
Take
calling
care.
Mm-hmm.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
You guys have a good night. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye. There we go. Oop. Didn't catch that in time.
Oh man, so many places I want to go now.
Right?
That's the thing, there are lots of ways to make the experience affordable, but really when you're down there and you're part of it and you get to live this fantasy, you just spend the money. I mean, you kind of, your budget sort of goes out the window and you're like, you know what I want right now? A hot butterbeer.
Right?
And
if only calories were able to go away as
okay,
fast
but
as
you
money does.
Yeah, but you also walk like
Yeah.
15,000
That is
steps
true.
a day at a minimum.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so and then wherever we travel, I have to run a race.
Well, of course. That's kind of the thing now.
That's how it works.
So, well, awesome. I feel like we learned a bunch tonight.
I think we did too. And I'm, happy to be back. I missed you guys.
Yep. We'll talk to you guys in a month. No.
No, we're gonna be better about it now that fall's rolling in. Less
Too cold to go outside.
Yeah, not today. It was like 90% humidity and
Right.
90 million degrees. But we're gonna be better about it. We just, distance makes the heart grow fonder. You guys, we missed you, you missed us, and now we really know how much we mean to each other. Like, let it go, and then if it comes back, it's yours, and that's how you know. That's what Mariah Carey said.
You really need to stay off that allergy medicine.
I really do. I know. There's some, it's been raining so much here that we've got some like mold issues. I can't even, this is not pop culture related. I need to stop.
Yeah.
So.
Where can they find us on social media?
You know what? I'm going to tell you where they can find us. You might be watching us live right now on facebook.com/popshow. You can download the podcast on Stitcher, iTunes, Google Play, or Podbean. Follow us on Twitter at popshow. Visit popshow.com. We are also on the Instagram because we're fancy at popshow. We're basically everywhere, popshow. Like us, rate us, share us with your friends, join the conversation, and I am making a pledge. We will see you probably next week.
Within the next 2 weeks.
It's going to be a Tuesday, whatever it is. So
in the next 2 weeks.
We're committed. Either way, we are live all the time on Facebook, and we want to chat with you with our links and our awesome stories. So we'll talk to you there.
Yeah, see, Bradley caught your Let It Go. So,
I know. Let it go.
Well, it's been a very Disney show today because we've been talking about this stuff. So
don't forget to go to nerdtravelpro.com and hear about all these amazing vacations.
Yes, and don't forget to check out, we got 24 hours left if you're listening to us live on the Metal Shark Bro Kickstarter. So check it out. So until next time, guys, catch you on the flip side.
Have a great night.